All right, so let's see where we stop here. All right, I think the next question is question 6. So let's. All right, I know you want to take question 6. Let's get this started.
Yes.
All right.
John
6.
purchases a single-use software license for an application and installs it on his desktop. Then he installs it on his laptop computer. In this scenario, which of the following statements is true? So
Okay.
it is here single-use software
Yeah.
license.
So let's see. Yep. So let's see what single-use software license. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Every time I click something, where's my highlighter? Okay. Wait a second. Single-use software license. Let's see what that is. All right. Single-use software license. Single-use. All right. Okay, so when we talk about different types of software, like we said, I gave the example of this application that I have on my computer, right? When you try to install software, when you buy software, you have to know, the terms in the license. What kind of license are you buying? What does it give you, right? Can you install it on your computer, on your iPad, on your computer at work, and maybe you have a 4th computer at home? Can you install it everywhere, right, for all your kids or stuff like that, right? So that's what we're talking about here. We want to see what exactly, software licensing, all right? When you buy the software, like it says here, when you buy the software, you have to know what the agreement is, right? What is the license agreement? What does it allow you to do, right? Now, there might be a lot of terms, like if I pull up this program again, there might be a lot of terms there, right? A lot of, things to read. For example, if I say, I agree here, and I say, okay, I want to buy it. Well, I have to look at the terms, for example, let's see, privacy statement. Well, there's nothing there. Okay, so see what it says here. If I buy this license, it says it's a non-expiring license. That is, I can use this license forever, right? I don't have to renew it every year or something. Once I buy it, it's mine, right? What else does it say here? It gives you 1 free upgrade to the next major release. You have free technical support by email, right? So you have to know what the terms are. So let's go back there. So you have different types of software and different types of license, all right? If you look right here, it says that a license agreement is also called a what? Anu? A EULA, E-U-L-A, End User License Agreement, right? For short, a EULA. That is, the license agreement, what you can do and what you can't do. All right. So let's see the different options that we have with different, software licensing and software. So the first one we see here is freeware, right? Freeware is software that is completely free. Free. What's an example of that, Lynn? Free software that you can install, you don't have to pay for it.
Yes. Can free
Lynn, what's an
Can free
say it again?
Can free get it?
No, not paying.
Yeah, what's an example of freeware? Freeware is software that is completely free. So what's an example of software on your computer that you can just install without paying for it?
That's it. Don't need to pay.
Example. He wants to know example.
Example.
Example, like download some apps.
McDonald's?
Apps. Apps.
Apple what? What app?
Whatever. Just like download some free apps.
I'm not getting what you're saying. You're not being very clear. Type it in the chat. I'm not getting what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying, Lane. What's an example of freeware? Look at it right here. What does it say here? Here, look at that. You see that right there?
Yeah.
Google Chrome is an example of freeware that you never have to pay for. Google Chrome,
Gmail,
Firefox,
Firefox,
Mozilla. You have all those kinds of software that are free. You don't have to pay for it, right? And a lot of these companies, Google and Microsoft and Apple, they sometimes have free products that you can just download and use. For example, this software, this virtualization software that I use, what you might call it, Oracle, is from Oracle, the company Oracle. It's free, right? So that's an example. The next other example here is open source, right? Right here it says that open source is also free, right? It's free in terms of okay, for example, so freeware is free, but you don't have access to the code, right? Like how was it made? You can't just, recreate it yourself or something, right? But open source allows you to rebuild it if you want. The code is free, right? The code is open source. An example of that we've talked about before is Linux, right? If you're good in programming and you're a developer, you can develop your own version of Linux. So open source is free, freeware is free, but freeware, you don't have access to develop your own copy of it or your own version of it, right? With open source, you can do that. Then we have shareware is another type of software. Now, single use, what we're talking about now for that question, single use program is a commercial software. That is, you have to pay for it. Commercial means you have to pay for it, right? It's sold by companies who make it. So the license restricts the installation to one user. One user. So it depends on what the license agreement says. It might say, for example, maybe one user, maybe 3 computers. Something like that. Maybe something like that. One user, 3 computers, or one one computer only, something like that, right? So it depends on what it says. It might be one computer only or one user, but that's what it's saying here about a single-use license. So it says right here, depending on the agreement, the user might be able to install the software only on one computer or multiple computers, right? If you install it on one computer, if you have two computers, you might have to uninstall it from there and use it on another computer, but it's just for you, right? So you have to know what the agreement is. There's another example here. A concurrent license allows the software to be installed on many PCs, but used concurrently. When it says concurrently, it means at the same time. So you might say, when you install the software, maybe you can install it, maybe, I don't know, 25 copies, right? But only 5 users can use at the same time. That's what you mean by concurrent, right? Concurrent means at the same time, right? At the same time. So this is important because when you're on the job, right, you might have to buy a license or help in buying a license for your company. You have to know, what exactly do we need? Do we need all employees to be able to use it at the same time, or just some employees? You know, you have to really understand what you're trying to do, because you can make a mistake. You can buy the wrong license, and then, you know, not everyone can use it. You understand? So that's what he's saying there. And then you also have other kinds of, you know, you just have to read that to know the different types of options, right, that are available. Okay, so back to that question. Anu?
Yeah. So first option, John can use the application on both computers at the same time. No. John can use the application on both computers, but only one at a time. That is the answer. John can use the application on only
A, B, C, or D?
B.
John can use the application on both computers, but only one at a time.
Yeah. He can install on both computers, like a desktop and laptop, but he has to use only one at a time. That is a single.
Okay,
use.
because it says here that he installs it on his desktop, then he installs it on his laptop, right? So he can install it on both, obviously, but he can only use it on one at a time. Okay? All right. All right, next question here. Arch, that's for you.
You visit a website
Sam, how's it going, Sam? I didn't see you. I had to kind of scroll down the pictures. All right, Arch.
Yeah. You visit a website that is supposed to be secure. Your web browser shows the web address in a red font. You do not see a lock icon. What is the most likely cause of this?
Okay, let's see what it's saying here. So it's talking about a security of websites, right? Arch, how do we know if a website is secure? How do we know if it is safe, right? To, you know, buy something on a website, give them your credit card information, you know, give them your social security number, all that kind of stuff. What are we looking at? It says your web browser shows the web address in a red font, and you do not see a lock icon. What is the most likely cause? So let's take a look here at, you know, website security. So right there, you see that option there in the book, visiting secure websites. All right, so let's look right here. Right here, it says the first thing is, where's that? Okay, this is a bit too much here. All right, a secure website. Why is this? Sorry, give me 1 second here. Let me just get this done correctly. My mouse seems to be giving me some issues here. Every time I click, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to see what's going on with my system here. Okay, well, let's look here. I'll take care of my, whatever my mouse is. So a secure website is one that uses SSL. Now that might sound like, what does that mean to you? But let's just look at a few things that, maybe you guys can understand by all that. So what that basically means is it's a kind of system on the back end of that website that makes that website secure. And how do we know that, right? Because you may not know what SSL is or TLS, but basically what happens is a secure website includes, right, some built-in, should I say, systems, right? Built-in systems that makes it secure. Here's an example, right? Oh, in fact, here's a couple of the most important examples that you want to look at. So let's look at this particular website we're on right now. Yeah. If you look up here in the address bar, you see that the address right here, the address starts with HTTPS. Okay. So the HTTPS, we call it a protocol. HTTPS, protocol. The HTTPS protocol, right, basically tells you of the security of a website, right? If you want to know what it stands for, that is hyper text transfer protocol. And then the S there stands for secure. HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, right? Secure. Now, the other type of protocol is HTTP, right? Now, when you're on a HTTPS website, you're always going to see in your web browser, you're going to see a lock. You see this lock right here, Arch?
Yes.
Okay. You're always going to see a lock. Even if you're in Chrome, if I go to Chrome and go to, let's go to, I don't know, Quincy College. Quincy College. All right. Now you see that up here in this, in the browser, right? You see that lock right here?
Yes.
You guys see that up here? Yeah, so whatever browser you're in, if your website is a secure website, you're always going to see the lock. If it's in, Google Chrome or in Firefox, you're going to see that lock, right? Now, if you click on the lock, if you click in here on the lock, some of this information is a bit small. Let me use my magnifier, make it a bit bigger for you guys. All right. Now, if you click on the lock, let me move this out of the way. You see what it says here? Can you read that, Arch? You see this part?
Yeah. Bookshelf.vitalsource.com.
What are you reading? This, what I'm highlighting right here, just right here. You see my mouse moving?
Yes,
What is
bookshelves.vital. Bookshelves.vital.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys can see what I'm clicking on.
Oh, this
Okay, how
one,
about this part here?
Okay, here under vitalsource.com, when you click connection security for bookshelves.vitalsource.com.
Okay, wait a minute. You're not seeing what I was trying to zoom on it, but you know the zoom didn't really work out properly. Okay, how about here? You see this part here?
Connection secure.
Okay, exactly. Now, when you click on the lock, it's going to tell you connection secure. Now, you can click on that to see more information, right? Right here. Now, this information is pretty small, right? But when you click in there, you know, just a few things for you to see is right at the bottom here, it tells you that the page you are viewing, you can do it yourself on your computer. The page you are viewing was encrypted. Encrypted. There's the word encrypted there. Right here, encrypted or encryption. Okay, so encrypted or encryption. The page you are viewing was encrypted, or you're talking about encryption. All right. Okay, some of you need to mute yourself because I'm getting a little feedback. If you're not talking right now, try to mute yourself. Okay, so it says that because of the security of that website, the page you are viewing was encrypted, right, before being transmitted. What does that mean, encrypted? Encrypted means that, basically your data cannot be read. That's basically what encryption means. Your data, when you're online, cannot be read by somebody else. Even if they get it, they can't read it, right? It's kind of like, let me give you an example of encryption. Let's say, I say, launch, let's say launch, L-U-N-C-H, launch at, I don't know, launch at 4 p.m. Abu Sa'id, can you see what I wrote here?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so if anybody sees this information, they know, oh, launch is at 4 p.m., right? But if you want to encrypt this message, then you have to use different ways to change the information. For example, I can decide, all right, I want to encrypt this message, so I'm going to substitute. Instead of using L-U-N-C-H, I'm going to use what you call a key. I'm going to create a key to encrypt the word. Now, what's the key? I'm going to use the alphabet, right? I'm going to use the alphabet to encrypt that message. So if we look at the alphabet, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, right? That's 26 letters. So I'm going to start counting from from A. When I get to L, I use the number instead of the letter. So when you think about L is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Number, that's in 12th position. So my message is going to start with 12, right? 12, I'm trying to encrypt the message by using a sort of a system or a key that I'm the only one who knows it. And I'm going to share it with the person I am sharing, I want to read that message. I don't want any other person to be able to read the message except the person I tell about it, right? So L is 12. Now I'm going to use an asterisk just to separate the letters. So U is what? U is at what position in the alphabet? Abu Said or anybody?
Vowel.
You got to count. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. What's U is what?
U is a vowel.
Is what?
Vowel its position is a one. Its position maybe
It's 17. 17.
21.
position.
21.
17.
17.
Is it 17?
Yes.
Okay, 17.
17.
All right. Then the next letter is N. How about N?
N. 17. U. P Q R S T U. M N.
Can everybody get involved?
14.
You guys wake up. 14?
14, yeah, 14.
14.
Okay, how about C? 3.
3.
How about H? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 8.
8.
Okay, so that's the first word. The first word, that's the first word, right? Now we're gonna use a what's it now? Let's use the at sign to separate the words. So the next one is at. That's 1. Then we'll use the asterisk. The asterisk to, where's the asterisk right there, to separate. Okay, and what's this? What's the other one? T is what?
And
Hello? T is going to be what number?
C is go to be 3. 3 and 3.
E is 20. 20.
20. Okay, and then we have the last word is, 4 p.m. So 4, we just put 4, and P is what?
P is 16.
16, and the last one, M is what?
13.
13. Okay. Now, if you take this, if somebody sees this, this thing here, this information, are they going to know what it is?
No.
First, no.
Yeah. You can never know what it is because you might think it's just maybe you're trying to print something and it just came out, the wrong way. You know when you're trying to print, and it's just like nonsense on the sheet of paper, right? So nobody's going to know what it is. But if I tell you, right, I say, May, when you get that information, go to the alphabet, write out the alphabet A, B, C, D, all the way to the end, and then use the number in the alphabet and substitute, then you can know that that message is launched at 4 p.m. That is kind of called encryption, right? So even if you get this information, if you don't know how to decrypt it, right? Encryption, decryption. If you don't know how to decrypt the message, it's useless, right? It's useless to you. Like, I don't know what it is. So in a more advanced way, web browsers are able to do that. On a secure web browser, you're sure that when you're sending your information is encrypted. Even if, somebody intercepts your message, they're going to have a really, really hard time trying to figure out what the message is. Okay? So that's what it says here. Encryption makes it difficult for unauthorized people to view the information, right? It makes it extremely difficult. So it is very unlikely that somebody else got your information on a secure website, right? So you're looking for a few things just to be sure that your website is secure or the website is secure. You're looking for that lock, right? You see the lock there, and you're looking for the HTTPS in the web address, right? So a website that starts with HTTPS, and you say, and you see HTTPS, HTTP, Okay, so here's a question for you guys. May, which website is secure and which is not secure?
The first one is secured.
It's secure even though it says hack a PC?
Yeah, it's just the name. No problem.
Okay. So, even people who do bad things want to secure their information, right? Like, let's keep it secure. So the fact that the website is secure does not mean that whatever you do on the website is appropriate or legal. So security has nothing to do with being legal. You understand? I mean, even when people do bad things, they want to make sure that nobody can see them. So it's not about the name of the website, it's the system, the protocol that is used on the website, right? Okay. So you're looking for the lock, and that tells you some things about the website, and especially the protocol that is used on the website. So if you see a HTTP website, for example, if I go to, there's a website here called Last Page. You guys can go there. Last Page on the internet, hmpg.net. This website here, right? hmpg.net. Now you can see that on a website that is not secure, what do you notice here?
Lock.
What do you notice about this lock?
Not secure.
Not safe.
Yeah, but what do you notice about the lock? You see, there's something on the lock, right?
Red,
Yeah.
Like,
red color.
like, exactly. Like, there's a problem here. If you click on it, what does it tell you here?
Connection not secure.
Connection not secure.
Okay, so the question is, should I visit this website or should I just close it right away?
Close it.
No.
Right away.
Close it.
Visit.
I should close it? I shouldn't visit it?
Maybe you could visit it, but you should never put your information on that website.
Exactly. So it's okay to visit the site as long as you're not giving them anything, right? Because if you're going to give them your credit card or your name or stuff like that, it's not going to be secure. The transmission is not going to be secure. Very important to know that. Okay? All right, so let's go back here, see a few more things.
Banjo, I have a question about that.
All right, go ahead.
Considering that some websites have important information and some hackers want to break the encrypting code and add any code, do the websites change their encrypting codes from time to time, or they always keep the encrypting the same?
So let's do it this way. They're kind of like two ways, or I mean, there are many ways. There's a lot of steps to securing a website, right? You might have the lock on the website. Okay, the lock might be there. You might have the HTTPS, right? But your data, you see, this security is about when you transmit information, like you give them your credit card, you give them your name. But what of like your password that is stored on that website? What of your username and all your account information, right? That is stored in the database. There's a different kind of security that the company has to use to secure the information that's in the database. For example, your email is on Google or Gmail, right? You use Gmail, or you have your pictures on Google Drive, right? All that information has to be protected. So even if the website is secure in terms of when you exchange information, the information that is saved on that website also has to be secure. And there's so many forms of encryption that has to take place on that data, right? To ensure that even if hackers get a hold of it, right, they're not able to use it. So it's not like websites have to change every day. You understand? I mean, it's a pretty tough job for websites to be broken into. It's a pretty tough job, right? A lot of times it is due to human error. You know, somebody forgot to, somebody exposed their password, or forgot to use the proper, forgot to follow the proper policy or the proper protocols. And so an attacker, or somebody sent an email and you clicked on the email and you gave them permission, right? So it's not like anybody can just break into a website, but sometimes, we make mistakes and we allow people to get in. So of course, websites, Facebook, Twitter, websites for the school, for the government, they are constantly monitoring the activity on the website, right? Because you want to, it's like, you go into a public building, right? Say, what's that now? Yeah. So you go to a public building, and in that public building, right, you have people who monitor the activities, right, of, what is happening. They want to be sure that the building is protected. So in the same way, if, you might see something and then you might have to react. So the same way, you have people who monitor the network, monitor the website to see what kind of activity is going on. And sometimes they might have to react, based on whatever they find, whatever they see. You understand? So then they know what kind of action to take, because attackers are always constantly trying to come up with some gimmicks and some ways of doing stuff. So security is a job you do 24/7, around the clock. You never sleep, because attackers are always trying to find some kind of weakness, or some kind of a vulnerability on that system. All right. So there's a lot of information in the book here about, how websites and stuff get secured. But most importantly, when you look in your browser and you see some funny information there, you've got to be extremely careful. I mean, let's say, for example, I go to, let's say hacking. I just Google, let's say, I'm just Googling hacking techniques, right? And I look for a website, let's say, let me just go, let me go well past the first page. Let me see. Do I see anything here? Okay, well, this website looks okay. Actually, I have a site here. Let me go to something I can show you guys, I think. Let's go here. Oh, not this one. This one is this one, not this one here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so here's here are hackers, right? Cult of the Dead Cow. That's the name of a hacking group. So let me see if I can find their website and see what happens if I try to go to their website, right? So right here. Okay, doesn't that look a bit scary? Even going to the website, right? I hope my computer doesn't shut down. If it shuts down, then you guys know why it shut down, right? I don't even know how to get in. What else do I do here when I get here? Okay, they have all this stuff. Social media. Oh, they have a Facebook page. Well, I'm not seeing anything, but usually if something is funny, when you look at your browser, you might see some, something telling you about that. Okay. Now, something else here, private browsing. Let's talk about that a little bit here. Private browsing. So private browsing, when you do private browsing, it protects your information, right? It's like you are kind of anonymous. when you're in private browsing. So let's say, for example, right, if I click here, I go to Amazon, right? Because I have all my information in Amazon, it just immediately, based on the cache and all that stuff, it just pulls up my information. I didn't even have to log in. You see, I didn't even have to log in on my computer. It just went straight into my account. Okay, but if I decide to go to Amazon on what you call private browsing, you click here. You go to new private window. Well, now in Firefox, the window looks different. It's called private browsing. If you're in Chrome, it also looks different. You have to go to incognito, right? The incognito mode in Google Chrome, it looks like that. It tells you you've gone incognito, right? So back to Firefox, if I go to the same Amazon, right? Is this my incognito? All right, now you see what happened here? It's asking me to sign in because it doesn't have my information. So in private browsing mode, right, it doesn't really have your information in that mode. So if you want to browse without your information being tracked by all these websites and advertising and all this marketing and everything, well, you are free to use incognito mode. A lot of times, it's like you're walking around and nobody knows you, in a sense, kind of like anonymously, and that's what it says here when we look in the book. It says here that if you want to protect, so right here, where is it? Okay, so if you want to protect your privacy while on the internet, right, you can use the undercover, right, like anonymous, secret features in your browser. So Microsoft Edge has in browsing, in private browsing, Chrome has incognito, right? So that's an option too for you to, maintain your privacy when you're on the internet. In fact, when you're in incognito mode, right, it doesn't keep your history. For example, right here, if you look at my history, you're going to see, right now, we went to Court of the Dead Cow. All these things that I clicked on, you can see my history there, right? But if I go to incognito mode, right here, any website I go to, so let's say I go to Quincy College, right? I go to Quincy College right here, right? From Quincy College, let's say I go to, I do a Google search for something. Let's just say cats, right? I go to, I go here and I click on maybe a movie, stuff like that. Let's see what happens to the history. If you notice, right, there's no history there, right? The only history is the history I have in my normal mode. So it doesn't capture your history when you're incognito or in the privacy mode. Has anybody used this private browsing before?
I love
or
to
just
use
heard
it
about it
because
for
it never saves your cookies when you use it.
Okay. Now, has anybody never heard about this before? Like you're just hearing it for the first time?
Yeah, now I heard the first time.
I know you're just hearing about this for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to send you a bill because this is like not part of the class. So you have to pay for that information differently.
Okay.
Just kidding. Who else has not heard about this? May, have you heard about this before? Private browsing?
No.
Oh, no. So it's an option when you're online. But the only problem is if you're in private mode, you have to put in your password everywhere, your username, because it doesn't store anything at all. Right? But, it's like nothing is saved. Nothing is really saved there. All right? Okay. So those are some options that you have, and you can look at the book and get some more info about that. Now, let's go back to the question. So the question was, I think that was for Arch, right?
Yes.
So what answer do you think here?
Let's 7. Let's see.
Okay, well, we didn't cover some of these things. Now, some of these options you see here in the question, in the answers, are when a website is not secure. You know, all the different options, right? All the different options that you might come across, right? When you're looking at websites, and there's a lot of information there. You guys probably have to read the book. Not even probably. You absolutely have to look in the book and read the chapter yourself, right? To see some of this, should I say, some of these options that you see here and what the correct answer is. If we look at the answer in Appendix B, that's for question 7, chapter 5.
Invalid. I think it's
All right, so it talks about a website security certificate, right? A website's security certificate is invalid. Let me just show you what that is. So if we go back to the lock, right, and you click on the secure connection, right, let's see, we go back to more information here. You can, so right here, you're going to see, if you're in Chrome, you're going to see it there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
This is Google, this is Firefox. So you can click on the view certificate, right? If you click here, now you're going to read that information. It's a lot of information, but, you know, if you want to read that. So you're going to see the certificate. It's like, you know, the authority, right? The authority behind the website. If it is a valid, legitimate authority, okay? So you can see it tells you the name, it tells you the company that it came from, it tells you how valid it is. You can see that this is pretty valid, right? It is valid up till, it's like expiry date. So it doesn't expire till the end of the year. It gives you some options here, the name of the website. It tells you, Alex, back to your question, it tells you the kind of encryption and security behind the website, right? RSA tells you some things here, gives you serial number. There's a lot of information that gives you an idea, right? Right here it tells you it's a digital signature with a key encipherment. So right here it tells you the kind of encryption that is applied on that website. SHA-256 and SHA-1, these are all encryption methods, all right? So if you look at the certificate and it's not a very valid certificate, it's going to tell you there, right, what is going on. You guys got that? Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Yes.
No? All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Got to move quickly here. So that is basically the certificate, right? Had a problem there, the certificate. Okay, number 8. So this is about the different types of software. I think we talked about this before. So word processing. So Arch, let's stay with you.
Okay.
See if you can answer number 8.
Okay. Word processing, spreadsheets, and presentation software are example of I think product.
Say that again.
Productivity software.
Productivity software. All right, productivity software. So, all right. So remember we talked about productivity, collaboration, and business, right? So
Yes.
software that you use to, you know, to get stuff done, you know, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, things that help you to be productive, to accomplish some tasks, right? Productivity software is different from collaboration. Collaboration are things like Zoom, things that you can share with other people, right? You can share with other people, you can talk to them, you can do video conferencing. and things like that, right? Let's see something else here about productivity. All right, so right here, so it says right here, all right, so it's designed, okay, so what it says right here, it is designed, it's designed to, what? It's designed to make you more productive, right?
Yeah.
Word processing, Microsoft Office, you know, designed to make you more productive, right? Microsoft Office, you have Google Docs. I think May asked the question about Google Docs, right? So May right there, Google Docs is a productivity software. And then of course you have the extensions, right? The file extensions. Remember the extensions? Like for Microsoft Word, you have .doc, right? The extensions, .doc. We talked about this before, .exls, .jpg, all the file names and file types, all right? So productivity software, then you have spreadsheets like Microsoft Excel, you have PowerPoint, right? Productivity software like PowerPoint that allows you to, you know, PowerPoint allows you to do a lot of different, you know, like presentations, okay? You have a presentation in the office, for example, you can do, for example, you say, you know, maybe new employees, right? Welcome lunch, right? So, for example, I can decide, okay, so my first employee is, let's say, you know, we have an employee in human resources. We have another employee here who is and say Sarah is in all right, so let's say we have, you know, we have 2 employees, right? So with PowerPoint you can do a lot of stuff, like I can add pictures, for example, right? I can go in here, no, not here. See, I want to go get pictures online. I go in here and I just, you know, I'm just trying to do an example. I'm just going to say, just do a search for person. All right, so let's say, you know, this is John here. I'm just going to put this right here. If we move this down a little bit. That is John Bailey. And the next person there is Sarah somebody. So where's my insert? Online pictures. Let me find somebody that looks like a Sarah there. All right, so it says this is Sarah. So PowerPoint, you know, productivity allows you to, let me do this properly. All right, so that's Sarah. Now, if I want to, you know, give this some good styling, I can go into design, right? And I can choose different options that PowerPoint has, right? Depends on what I like. Okay, does this look nice? This looks terrible, actually. Okay, I look at another option here. Does this look nice? They have a lot of different options that you can select from to see which one you really like. You want to use for your presentation. So say I want to use this one for my presentation for welcome lunch for my employees. I can kind of, you know, move this around here, move this around a little bit, go here, move this around here, and say, well, so when it's time for the presentation in the office, now I can do a slideshow and say, welcome to all the employees. We're going to have lunch. The first employee we have is John Bailey. The next employee we have is Sarah. Everyone, give them a big round of applause. Blah, 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 right? So productivity software, stuff you can do, you can use it to accomplish certain tasks, right, that you have to do. All right, so let me just get out of here and go back here. So back to that question, what do you think the answer was again, Arch? You said it before, productivity software, okay? All right, number 9. Let's see, Anjuman, number 9.
Are you hear me?
Yeah, your audio is kind of, yeah, okay, go ahead, let's try.
Okay. Number 9. Which of the following types of software license requires the user to pay yearly? Single use, open source, subscription, recurring. It's yearly. It's single use. I don't know.
So let's see. So let's take a look at this here. When you pay. So let's see. Pay.
Yes.
Whole word. So let's see that. For example. 1 second here. Actually, let's look at subscription instead. Subscription. Let's look at subscription. Okay. All right, so look at this example here. So subscription is basically how you pay for software, right? And human, how you pay for software. So if you install the software, you might decide,
Yes.
you know, it depends on what the whole agreement is. For example, right here, it says, let's see. Right here, let's say you buy Microsoft Word, right? You have that product, or you have Google Drive, and you buy extra, extra data. Or for example, I have this antivirus, Kaspersky. If I look at my license, if I can find it somewhere, my license right here, and I look at the information for my license, right? My license tells me, you know, how long do I have it for? So it looks like right now it expires next year in March. Okay? So you got to know what's the deal, what's the agreement you have. All right? So right here it says Microsoft has a cloud-based version called Office 365. Right? You can buy a subscription. So a subscription can be monthly or yearly. You're paying every month on your credit card or your debit card, or you're paying every year. Okay? So so most of the software that you install, the ones that you buy, you use it,
Okay.
you subscribe. You subscribe to it, which means that you're paying, you know, every month, every quarter, every 6 months, every year. Usually it's every month or every year. Right? It's called a subscription. When you pay, it's like paying instrumentally, sort of. Well, maybe not exactly. Maybe that's not a good word, instrumentally. But a subscription is how you pay. You don't own the product, like you don't just pay one time and own it forever. You're paying monthly or yearly to use that product. It's kind of like when you lease an apartment, right? Sometimes you lease for a whole year. Sometimes you lease on a month-to-month basis, but you don't own the building. You don't own the apartment. You just pay to use it. All right? So if you go back to that question, Anjuman, that's what subscription is. So let's see. If we look at the answer in the appendix. So see right here. Okay. So right here it tells you subscriptions require you to pay yearly, right? Yearly. Or it might even be monthly. Right? And Juman, you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, let's go to the next question. Number, what are we at? Number 10. Kaush, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so number 10.
What software is designed to get the operating system talk to hardware driver?
Even though you got it wrong on the quiz, right, Kaush? Now you can get it right here, right? Remember you got it wrong on the quiz? You didn't, you know. Am I right, Kaush? When you did the last quiz?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
That is
You did it. You did because you didn't go to that to the window to select install.
Oh yes, yeah, that one. Yes.
Oh, I remember. I remember. You see.
Yeah.
So now you got it right. So yeah, that's the driver that allows that communication between the operating system and the hardware. Okay. All right. Next question, Lynn. This is for you.
You need to set up software to 5 users on network. They all need to have access to and access the same Excel files, which is the best type of the software for them to use. Project manager.
So Lynn, do you understand the question?
Yeah, I understand the question.
All right. So there are 5 users, right? And they're gonna. It's like they're gonna work together.
Yes.
You have to be able to. Okay.
So.
Let's see the options we have there. Sharing. Let's see what it says in the book. Then we'll come back to the question. All right. So like we said, well, you have different types of software. You have collaboration software, which allows you, if you're collaborating with other people, to work in an office environment. Okay, like a team of people can work together when you have a collaboration software. It says some members of your work team may be in different offices, but they can still work together. Just like right now, we're in different places, but we're kind of working together. It's like being in, it's literally like we're actually in the same place, right? Well, now email, well, you guys use email for communication back and forth, right? Attachments and everything. So I'm not going to talk about email. We all know email. Conferencing. So conferencing is a little bit like collaboration, a little bit, but right here it tells us that, okay, that's what it says here. Conferencing can be for phone calls, but right now there's video involved. All right. So conferencing allows you to literally talk, right? You talk. When you have a conference, you're talking to somebody else. Not just working on a project, but you're actually having conversations. Okay? Maybe, video and stuff like that. Then you have an online workspace, right? Some online workspace specifically, again, it's all online. You go online, you go to a certain platform, you exchange information. Some of the features of that are, there might be a whiteboard, the session might be recorded, instant messenger, like messaging yourselves while you're communicating. And then you have document sharing. So Like if you want to send me something and it's a very heavy file, you can use Google Drive, for example, right? Or, Dropbox, some of those online cloud storage places, iDrive, right? Things like that. That's for document sharing. Okay. So the different types of sharing options you have. So Lane, back to that question, you've got these 5 people who are trying to work together. Number 11, what's the best option there?
Online workspace.
Online workspace. Alex, do you agree with Lane there?
I'm really sure that C is not the answer, and it might be D, but I think B would be the best one. I agree with her.
All right, let's see. So that's what? No, that's question 5.
You opened Appendix A.
Yeah, I just realized that. Appendix B5. All right. So, Lynn, are you correct?
Yes.
The users need an online workspace, which will allow them to share files and work online. Okay? So, very good.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So let's go here and see the next question. Alex, next question is for you. That is, let's see, number 12.
When thinking of software compatibility, which 2 factors matter most?
Okay, wait a minute. So, we talked about the word, we've looked at this word before, right? The word compatibility, which is, let me close this here. So compatibility or compatible. What does compatibility mean, Alex?
It means that the software can communicate with the operating system.
Yeah, 2 devices, or even people, right? Actually, not people. 2 devices can, just basically work together, right? 2 devices can work together so that they're compatible. They can work together with each other. The mouse can work with the computer. The keyboard can work with the computer. The printer can work with the computer. They are compatible. Okay? All right, so go ahead.
So, if the software will work with other software on the computer, if the software will work with the operating system, definitely the B is one of them. C, if the minimum hardware requirements are met. D, if the software comes with B and C.
B and C. When thinking of software compatibility, which 2 factors matter most? If the software will work with the operating system,
Definitely.
if the minimum hardware requirements are met.
Yeah, looks good.
If the software will work with other software on the computer. Huh.
It
So
matters,
if I have a
but
mouse,
I don't think it would be that important.
Yeah, like if I have a mouse, well, do I care if my mouse can work with my printer? I don't think that matters. If the software comes with automatic updates, I don't think that's I don't think that's relevant. So let's see. B and C.
I guess it's B.
Well, there are 2 answers. It says select 2.
Yeah, I
B
have
and
to
C.
choose 2 of them.
B and C.
All right, so Alex, looks like you're right. The 2 most important things to consider are if the software was written to work with the operating system and if the computer has enough hardware to run the applications. All right, so very good with that.
Thank you.
Let's go to the next question. All right, the next question is going to be, where's that? Number 13. All right, Abu Saeed, this is for you.
Yes, sir.
And then May will take the next one. Number 13.
Number 13. You have just plugged in a new HP printer to your Mac. You can find a printer driver. What should you do given the circumstances? A, use the default HP printer driver from Mac OS. B, visit Apple's website to download the printer driver. C, visit HP website to download the printer driver. D, run software update to install the printer driver automatically. I think
we talked about this before. So what do you think is the best option here? Abu Saeed, what's the best option here?
I think A and D.
There's only one answer.
Oh, it's maybe D.
D right here. D?
I think it's maybe.
You said D, right?
Yeah.
Anu, do you agree? That's the answer?
No. We should check the website. So answer is C.
So which website? Apple's website or HP's website?
HP printer website. Visit HP's website to download the printer driver. Because it is from HP printer. HP.
All right, so it's a HP printer. You want to go to the HP website to download the driver.
Yes.
It's on a Mac, so let's just confirm that we're right about that, because sometimes Mac might be different. All right, so that's what it says right there. And so Abu Saeed, if you're missing a driver, go to the website, right? Go to the manufacturer's website to download it and install it. Okay, Abu Saeed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I mean, if you know the printer's name, you just go to HP drivers, right? You go to the website, if it's a HP, and then you got to put in your printer information, right? You're going to choose, if it's a printer, I accept. Go to the printer, and then you put in the information about your printer, right? What about the printer? Is put it in there, and it's going to pull up the printer for you and give you the correct driver. And you can download the driver and install it. So these are things that you do on the job as an IT person, right? You have, there's a printer or there's some kind of device that needs to work in the office. Well, it's your job to make sure that it can work. If it can't work, you go and look for the drivers that you need to get it to work, right? That's kind of what you do in this kind of IT help desk job. All right. Okay, back to the next question there. May, the next one is for you. That should be 14.
14, yeah. Which of the following application delivery methods requires internet access? A cloud host. B local install. C local network host. D 3-tier. I guess A.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about that, because anytime you're going to do anything in the cloud, you have to have internet.
Internet, right? Yeah.
Right? But if it's local, local means that it's installed on your computer. Right? Anything local, you don't necessarily need internet access for it. But if you're going to go to the cloud, right? Like if you want to go to Google Drive, for example, and stuff like that, you want to go to Netflix, all that stuff. You want to go to YouTube, all that, you absolutely need to have, except you download the stuff there before time. But if everything is in the cloud, you absolutely need internet access. Okay, number 16. Let's see, who are we missing out here? I think we kind of got everybody. All right, let's go back to Alex, number 16.
It is installed.
Oh, sorry, I think we missed 15.
Yeah, that's right. Which of the following is not an example of productivity software? Word processing software is a productivity. Visual diagramming software is about productivity.
15.
Web browser and conferencing. Web browser. C.
Web browser productivity, right? So your web browser is completely useless, right? It doesn't do anything for you. Right, Alex?
It doesn't mean it's useless, but
let's see what it says here. Conferencing software is for collaboration, not productivity.
yeah, I was thinking about that one too.
So, productivity, software that allows you to do something. Your web browser, absolutely, without your web browser, you can't get online, right? There's no website for you without your web browser. Your web browser is the gateway between you and the internet. If you have no Google Chrome, no Safari, no Firefox, no Microsoft Edge, nothing. So there you go. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's do the last few. Finish it up and let you guys go. Oh, where is it? All right, Anu, let's go back to you for 16, I think. All right, 16.
Yeah. You just installed an antivirus program on your laptop computer. Given a scenario in which you want to maintain proper levels of security, how often should you update the software? There are options: at least once a week, at least once a month, once a year, only when new virus is discovered. It's at least once a week.
Yeah, I think, in fact, if that many times this software have automatic updates, like just say, install it, automatically. So that should be as often as possible. Okay. All right, number 17. Arch, let's go back to you for that.
Of the following does not require users to pay for the software. Open source software.
Open source. So open source software, we don't pay for that. That is free, completely free. Okay, Couch, number 18.
Your boss calls you on the phone while he's trying to install software. It is telling him that he needs product key. Where should you tell him to look for it? choose to. On the page, the install CD came in email from the manufacturer on the screen in the option menu in Windows Update.
So you know, like when you install something and you have to find the product key, right?
Yes, and yes.
All right. So, yep.
And in an email from the manufacturer and on the package, the installation CD came in. There's a 2 options, choose 2, right? So I think one is it from email.
All right, so let's see. Let's just confirm that here. So here's the product key. So right here it says, let me get this out of here. It says the product key, right? The product key might be emailed to you, or it could be located on the physical media. That is, if there's a CD or there's a packet or something, you know, maybe there's a sticker, right? There might be a sticker on it or something like that. So, you know, and it tells you don't lose it, right? So, but if it's by email, that's better because you don't have to forget. You just forget about it. It's always in your email. If you buy it on Amazon, Amazon also sometimes, not actually sometimes, if you buy anything with a product key on Amazon, it's going to be on Amazon's website. Okay, so you're right about the answer. Okay, let's see. Lynn, the next one, 19, that's just, we have 2 more.
You wait to visit a web page and make sure that the website does not store any information about your identity. In the
in that scenario, in that example, scenario means in that example,
which of the following should you use?
So you want to protect your identity. You don't want any information to go out about what you're doing.
So A.
What is a script blocker? So the answer is A? Okay, let's see what a script blocker is. Oh, script. All right, so let's see the script blockers here. Okay, blocking script. So let me get this out of here. Where is it? All right. So web browsers work by downloading and displaying web pages, right? Which are essentially programming scripts. So it says the script is rendered as a formatted web page. So the script, here's an example of the script, right? Like the web page, the script might look like that when you look in the background. If you go to any web page, Lynn, and you right click and you say view page source, right? You're gonna see the script in the back, you know, like the actual code that is used to design that web page. All right. So that's what it's referring to about the script. All right. So when you talk about blocking scripts, it says right here, there's some scripts that can be harmful to your computer, like, you know, Flash or Java stuff can be harmful to your computer. Okay, some of the scripts can, right here, where it says scripts can contain malicious code that can affect your system. All right, Lynn?
Yeah.
So the question is, you're trying to protect your information. Oh, why do I have so many things here? You're trying to protect your information. right? Your identity when you're online. And Juman, do you agree with Lynn here?
I think is
What?
Continue after 10 minutes.
What do you guys think the answer is? I don't think it's quick blocker.
The private browser.
Private browsing.
Private browsing.
I think oh, I think it's D.
Let's see. Let me get the.
Yes, I think so.
All right. So let's see number 19. So right here, private browsing. Private browsing, it makes it less likely that the site you can determine your identity, because private browsing allows you to browse privately. It doesn't store any information about what you're doing or about yourself, right? So if you're concerned, that your information can be stolen or something, use the option for private browsing. Okay, Anjuman? All right, the last question there is for Arch. Arch, are you there?
Yes.
Last question.
You are trying to enter registration information into a website. When you click the submit button, nothing happens. You try again and still nothing. What is the most likely cause of this problem? I think not invalid certificate. And
invalid certificate. Well, let's verify that one there.
Okay.
The page blocker.
Maybe.
So scripts blocking. If the scripts are blocked, then the submit button is not going to work properly. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so make sure you review, let's do the attendance. Make sure you review the chapter, before you do the assignment. Read the chapter, maybe some places that we didn't look at. You can, look at that yourself. And if you have questions, then let's talk about it in the next class. All right, well, that's all we got. Let's go to the attendance and take care of that.